Thank you so much for listening, my Snoopers. It's your girl, Tony Michelle, a.k.a. Fat Girl Snoop. And all I want to say is welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe because it does wonders for my video. And if you are my A1 from day one Snooper, I appreciate your love. Thank you so much. And yes, I am pleased to excited that I actually got some new stuff in. I was able to wear it when I went out with some friends on Friday, and it was such a vibe. But I finally got my other design for my t-shirts in, and it looks absolutely fabulous. Not just saying that because it's me on the front of it, but it looks great. So if you guys are interested in purchasing some of my merch, you can go to Phatgyrlsnoop.co. It is no longer Phatgyrlsnoop.com. Drop that M. Phatgyrlsnoop.co. And you can also purchase one of these water bottles that also has my picture on it. And these are the good water bottles, like the ones that keep your stuff cold for hours. Now, I was like really skeptical about these kind of water bottles. I see them all the time at like Walmart or wherever, and I'll just like walk past them like whatever. But you know, I finally bought one, and I'm like really impressed because listen to that. I actually had this water in my bottle since early this evening, and it's still like I just put ice in it, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, Phatgyrlsnoop.co. Support your girl. Trying to do a little light girl magic up in this piece. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I would talk about last night's episode of Married to Medicine Part 3. I mean, honestly, they could have just made this into 2 parts. Honestly, they could have made this into just 1 part because it was like a long, drawn out date. You know, a kind of date that you don't want to be at, and it just seems like it is lasting forever. That is how I felt about the Married to Medicine's reunion this year. Now, although I did appreciate them, you know, saying that, hey, you know, we're not that Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie. I probably was the biggest thing out of it, because if you're trying to say the Dr. Scott and Dr. Contessa thing was the best thing out of that reunion, I doubt, you know, listen, the only thing that basically happened at that reunion is Dr. Scott lied. The end. And he's not going to tell the truth. The end. And at the end of the day, all that crying and the suspense of Contessa filing the divorce, that was a bunch of BS. I mean, I just don't know what to say about this couple other than Dr. Scott is not about to tell the truth. He's not about to tell that he's been cheating. And he had the nerve to say, well, I guess he admitted that he made it up to be immature because he was too immature to go to his wife to counseling. So instead of, you know, trying to find something else to do with his wife, and he just basically said, hey, I have a life coach on my own, and you know, came to find out he was lying about that. So his story pretty much changed at least 10 times between the season and the reunion. So it's like I didn't learn anything new. Toya and Quad fighting over who has the better house. It was just, you know, long and drawn out, and honestly, I just really don't feel like talking about it at this point. But I will talk about last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Did you watch? Now, I'm not going to go scene by scene because honestly, I just feel like that is kind of boring. So I'm just going to go from lady to lady. Okay, so we got to know Mia. She is on the end over here next to Candace. We got to know more of Mia. We got to meet her old sugar daddy, or husband, so to speak. She did say that her husband is the same age as her father. She still doesn't know how old she is, She said she actually had to go back on her ID to, find out how, make sure she knows how old he is. She says she's 36. I beg to differ, girl. I think you need to go to that birth certificate and not that ID that you're carrying, girl. Go to the birth certificate because you need to raise that up a couple of notches. But she says she's 36, so I have to leave it at that. But I do like her because she's real sporty. You know what I'm saying? Like she is not afraid to tell you how she looks. And what I do appreciate is that she's not coming into the season, not liking people based on, how Karen feels about people. So, or whoever, if people are beefing with whoever, she's not coming in there like, oh, I don't like you because this person don't like you or whatever. But she actually gave Gizelle a compliment, and she said that Gizelle seemed like she's a very nice person. It was a whole bunch of flashes to faces like this, like, oh my God, you really don't know Gizelle like we do. But she said that she likes Gizelle, and that was that. Then we saw Candace, who is next to Mia, and we did see Candace, in her little doing her little acting role. She also said that she's been in the studio putting out an album, and we did see more in her with her stepkids. Nothing really happening with her other than she's still beefing with Karen. Basically saying that Karen needs to apologize to her about what Monique did to her in the past. And again, this is something that I do not appreciate about Bravo. You guys take people out of the show. Well, in this case, Monique quit. But she quit the show. She doesn't want nothing to do with y'all. Y'all make her sign this NDA. She couldn't talk to no press. She couldn't straighten her name out. She couldn't do nothing. But all of a sudden, it just seems like the season is all about Monique and what she did. Monique and what she did to Candace. Like, does Candace not have any other storyline about other than, the fake album and being a stepmom now that, we haven't even seen that side of her at all. Last year, all we saw was her pulling knives and stuff and threatening to stab people at a dinner party. But yet you're sitting here concentrating on something that happened between you and Monique years ago that basically Monique shook you up. You got scared because you was all this, like last season, all of this, and there's only but so much a person can take. But yeah, we actually got to see and then the other good thing is that she actually showed up to Karen's party, and we all know that her and Karen are not on the best terms, but Karen says she's going to try her to leave, and she invited Candace anyway, and surprisingly Candace did show up with her husband. Next we have Gizelle. Now I am going to tell you guys a little story about Gizelle later on. But we did see Gizelle's new house, the fifth wing. That was basically a house attached to a house. From the outside, I'm going to be perfectly honest. And I just live in a townhouse. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like the last person to judge. But when I think of a West Wing, I think of a big mansion with like 1,000 bedrooms. The house is so big that you have to call on the intercom from one room to another, or one side of the house to another. Or I remember going to someone's house in Atlanta, and Atlanta has the most beautiful houses. And when I went to Atlanta and I went into that house, I literally put my purse down in a room, and then I went socializing, talking, blah blah blah. And when it was time for me to get my purse, I had to freaking I asked somebody, I said, do y'all remember what room I was in? Because it was just so many rooms. And the lady actually got on her intercom and asked one of her helpers to find my purse. But needless to say, that's what I think of when I think about a West Wing. So we got to see Gizelle's house. We got to see, she did talk about her breaking up with Jamaal. She basically said that this is what she said when it came to her breakup with Jamaal. Now, she says, at this point, I think Jamaal is actually living in the phone because I am not seeing this brother. And with him not being up close and personal, communication starts to fail. Intimacy is obviously not there. And that's like the root of any relationship that's going to be successful. So I just need to step back. Now, like I said, I'm going to tell y'all a story about Gizelle in the moment. But all I can say is, like, Gizelle is full of ish because you had the audacity to go to Candace's house and you was just judging. And your house is not it, sis. Your new house, your West Wing, it's not it, sis. And and I'm sorry, but you know, when it comes down to Robin and Gizelle, like they seem like they're the best of friends. You know, like Robin went over to Gizelle's house to see her West Wing, and you know, everything was oh my God, lovely, I love that, this and that. And then in the confessionals, Robin is like, you know, it's basically trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, she just didn't understand it. Like, all of us didn't understand it. Just like I thought it was just a house attached to the house. But she did say that, you know, Gizelle's house was nice on the inside, but on the outside, it just was not it, sis. Now, Robin, it was also shady because in the confessionals, they asked her about Gizelle and Jamaal's relationship, and Robin had the audacity to say that she was not surprised that Gizelle and Jamaal would not have last. But Robin, you have the nerve, sis, because you can't even get out of bed to do shit for your man. I mean, I'm just saying, the producers at Bravo need to ask Robin about her marriage to Juan, okay? And that's if they could get her ass out of bed before 12 o'clock. Okay, now moving on to, let's talk about Karen. So Karen, like I said, she's turned a new leaf. She's trying to, you know, make amends with Candace again. She hosted a couples like dinner and game night. Everybody showed up with their husbands. Well, Gizelle didn't show up. Robin didn't show up, of course, because we know Juan was probably not with that ish. We know Gizelle didn't show up because Gizelle ain't got no man. And, you know, plus, you know, she literally wants to find out who the Sing Sing in the hot box is. But Karen, basically, she didn't take back the hot box comment, but she did take back the Sing Sing comment. And she just said she just felt like hot box and Sing Sing go together. We did see, who else what else is going on with Karen? Nothing's really going on between her and Ray other than like she's hosting these damn parties. And Ray is like, you know, I'm just here, you know, because you're here and, you know, I gotta basically be on camera with you, so it's whatever. But I did enjoy seeing Karen and Ray actually laugh together, get their jokes off, and then at the couples game night when they were asked, when the husbands were asked, like, who would you date, like, in the group? And I thought that Ray was going to say like Gizelle or Robin, you know, because they wasn't there. But child, when I say that Ray pulled out a Obi, he said that if he had a chance to get it on with somebody out of the Housewives, it would have been the throwback girl, Katie. Remember Katie? She was also married. I believe she was married to I know wasn't she like an actress or a model or something like that? But he was like, yeah, you know, if he had a chance to put his ding dong in that, you know, he was down for the cause, okay? And Karen was like, okay, now I gotta watch your ass. I gotta watch you around skinny, light skinned girls, you know. So yeah, that's what you know, whatever. Okay, we have Robin. She finally got out of bed. Like I said, she went to go see Gizelle's house. It was like hella shade. Nothing's really happening with Robin in this episode other than, you know, she was probably still in bed when they were taping the episode. And then we have Ashley. Ashley is due any day now. We met her nanny. Michael, of course, is off on business. Her mother came over to visit. She was telling her mom how, basically she's sex deprived, and she has to get her rocks off in other ways. Michael is scared to do the vaginal sex thing, so she says she has other holes she could use. She didn't specify whether these holes were in her face or whether these holes was in her derriere. We just don't know. So so that's all pretty much happening with Ashley. Basically, she's ready to pop, okay? And Mike did not show up to dinner with her, and she says he's off on business, so she was the MC of the game. And that's pretty much it with Ashley. She's just ready to have that baby, but in real time she actually had the baby. I believe she had another boy. If I am correct or if I'm not correct, please say it in the comments. And next we have Wendy. Wendy is showing out the boob. She's showing the ass that she claims that she didn't get. We also then listen, Wendy, listen, since we met you last year, all we heard was degree. Every time somebody came at you, your clapback was like, I got 3 degrees and this and that and the third. You mean to tell me you went through all that to be a doctor? Well, is she a doctor? I don't think she's a doctor. I don't think she's got her doctorate. If not, we would have heard about it, I'm sure. But she got 3 degrees, okay? 3 what it is, master? 3 masters. She got 3 master's degrees, right? And she takes these 3 master's degrees and she says, you know what? Forget my career. Forget all the school I had to do. You know what I want to do with my life? I want to open a lifestyle brand. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm here for it. I love lifestyle lines. And then so, she's at the dinner table with her family, telling her family that basically, she wants to take a step back and really focus on her business. And so her mom was like, well, okay, what's your business? And then she says about the lifestyle line. And I just set up like, oh, okay, let's see, sis. Like, I like that. Like, I'm a business person myself, and I would support black businesses, especially black women businesses. So I was all for it. But then she pulled out a box. So I'm thinking she pulled out this little small box. It could have been, it's very small, not even probably bigger than this cup that you could also get from Phatgyrlsnoop.com. But she pulled .co, drop the M, .co. But anyways, she pulls out a box and she gives it to her mother. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, maybe it's the key to her business. Maybe it's, a jewelry line. I just didn't know what to expect. And then her mother opens up the box and it's a damn candle. It's a damn candle that she basically named after herself. And I'm like, is she serious? 3 master degrees to get to be in the candle business? I mean, we already have Glade. Like T-Pain said, we have enough of that already. Give us something different. We already have Glade. We already have Yankee Candles. We already have Bath and Body Works. Give us something different. Okay, now I'm just... And then the look on her husband's face was like, yo, like at least you could have like told them like when you came out with like more products and but I had to learn this being in business, right? And I've been doing this for 13 years. And the best thing I could tell somebody when they're opening up the business is, A, you got to believe in yourself. B, there are times that you may not want to do what you do, but you still got to shake it off and come and do it anyway. Because if you're not going to do it, somebody else is going to do it. They're going to snatch your throne. And that's on period. So that's pretty much what's going on with Monique, other than at game night when she was talking to Oh, they was playing the game. It was basically a game of, how well do you know your man? And Wendy and her husband actually won the game because they got everything right. And then when the question was asked, like, who would you rather, like, in the group, like would you date somebody in the group? And then he basically was like, no, no, no. And Monique was like, I mean, not Monique. Wendy was looking at him like, you better have said what I said. Because they had these little like cue cards. And they had to like basically like the dating game where they write down the stuff, and then they newlywed game, but it was for couples that were well established in their marriage. So basically her husband got every question right, but Mia was like, just like how I was thinking, like she doubts that he feels that Monique is like the best looking one of the group. Could be now because she got the new boobs and her little tatas or whatever. I mean, her tatas and her derriere. So maybe that's why he said that nobody could touch her right now. But yeah, so that's pretty much what happened with Wendy. Nothing really popped off in the show other than they're still trying to drag Monique. They're still trying to make this a storyline. It was kind of dull. So if I had to rate this episode, I would definitely rate it a C. And that's all I got. That's it. All right, so moving on to Gizelle. Okay, all right. So here is Gizelle behind me. Pastor Bryant also behind me. And then we have Monet. Okay, so as you know, during the reunion, last year's reunion, Monique came with the receipts. And when I say receipts, I'm not talking a receipt like this, okay? I'm talking about a whole notebook, a whole binder filled with receipts about Jamaal. I mean, Monique came prepared. Okay, she came prepared. Now, last night on Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens Live, Gizelle talked about her breakup with Jamaal Bryant. Now, at one point, Gizelle was asked to discuss her most recent breakup with Jamaal, and that she said, and instead of her admitting that the reason why she left Jamaal was because of Monique's receipts, because Monique was just like, okay? Like, she was like, come on, bring it. Okay? Now, she says that Monique absolutely had nothing to do with her breakup. She says it was because of the pandemic. And Andy Coleman asked Gizelle if there was any more reasons for the breakup. Like I said, with Monique, with her binder that she bought. And so she basically said, remember when Monique said that she allegedly had text messages from Jamaal's real girlfriend, and who was also a pastor, who sent her the pictures and the text of her and Brian. As a matter of fact, the lady sent Monique pictures of her and Pastor Brian in the bed. And she even read out the text messages of the pastor allegedly downplaying his relationship with Gizelle. Now, according to Gizelle, that binder had absolutely nothing to do with her breakup. She claims that Monique's infamous binder actually brought them closer together as a couple. Now, this is what she said. I'm going to read it verbatim. And I quote, this is no alleged. This is a quote from Watch What Happens Live. I would play it, but guess what? I don't want to fight with YouTube. Not today, not ever. So I'm not going to play the clip. You know, Andy Cohen, he does not play when it comes down to showing this on YouTube. Andy, if you listening, play this mess on YouTube, okay? Stop being petty. Stop being stingy. All right. So this is what Gizelle said. Gizelle says, and I quote, that actually brought us close. That actually brought us closer. Meaning, we talked about it. He felt so bad about it. I mean, it was really a kind of a moment for us. I hate to say that, but it allowed us to talk about some things we hadn't talked about. But be clear, that whole reunion, all that she was talking about was old news. Jamaal and I had already talked about it. Is that right, Gizelle? I find that so hard to believe. And you know why? Because at the reunion, you were saying that you and Pastor Jamaal was still together. You were saying that your face completely changed when Monique came out with the receipts. You know, you've always been the type that sit there and throw rumors around about people's husbands, but it seems like when it comes to your husband, or your ex-husband, I should say, like, you have no idea what the hell is going on. And it's like, it's really annoying, okay? It's like so annoying with Gizelle. Now, I meant to say too, back in Gizelle's house with Robin, in her West Wing, Gizelle saying that she's planning on getting a new man and she's planning on dating again. And, you know, good for you. Good for you. Let's see. So she basically said Monique had absolutely nothing to do with the breakup. But okay, sis, if you like it, I love it. If you believe it, I believe it. It just is what it is. And she also added that Pastor Jamaal hated to see me go through that moment amongst the millions. So I think what it was is that Pastor probably was pissed because Monique came with the receipts on national television, and he didn't, and not just saying that, it's not like anything's going to change. You know what I'm saying? I mean, pastors cheat every day, B. I've seen it. I've seen pastors cheat. So, I mean, it is what it is. But Gizelle, I don't believe you. So who believes Gizelle out there? Make sure you leave that in the comments, whether or not you believe that Monique was somewhat responsible for Gizelle giving Pastor Pastor Jamaal the boot once and for all. Please leave your 2 cents in the comments. And that is my time for today, my snoopers. Let me know what you think of last night's episode. Was it a snooze fest, or did you enjoy it? Are you enjoying Mia? Do you believe that Candace's storyline sucks like I do? Do you believe that they're stretching out the Monique scenario? I mean, oh my God, like how far can you stretch it? Do you believe that Karen and Ray are actually having sex? No, I don't want to hear that. Don't put that in my comments, okay? I don't even want to imagine it, okay? And let me know about this situation with Gizelle and Monique. Do you feel like Monique had something in that famous binder? Do you believe that Monique has something to do with Gizelle giving Pastor Jamaal the boat? Okay. Oh, and don't forget, you can catch me every day right here on my channel. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, because like I said in the beginning, it does wonders for my videos. And like I said, I'm trying to make it out here up in these YouTube. And don't forget